Episode 10, The Ballad of the Coal Miner's Daughter. It was a gray and chilly evening when the door of the trading post slammed open. A dozen dwarves, coal dust still clinging to their beards, boots, and brows, trudged inside. They looked like they'd wrestled with the mountain all day and lost. The dwarves dropped into chairs with groans. One mumbled stew, another barked ale, a third just pointed to his boots and muttered, "So tired me toes are snorin'." Heinrick and Kutath exchanged a glance. "They don't just need food," Heinrick whispered. "They need something for the soul." Kutath nodded sagely. "Soup for the soul?" "No," Heinrick said dramatically, snapping his fingers. "Music." Across the room, a halfling bard named Tumblewick, Tumbles, Proudfoot, was polishing his lute. Heinrick bustled over beaming. "Tumbles, my dear friend, the dwarves are weary. Will you play a tune to lift their spirits?" Tumbles narrowed his eyes. "Last time I played in here, one of your magical spices made my lute burst into polka rhythms for 3 days straight." "A mere accident," Heinrick said, waving a dismissive hand. "Besides, this time I promise. No cursed paprika involved." Kutath leaned in and added, "Maybe only mild curry." The halfling groaned, but finally slung his lute over his shoulder. "Fine, but I'm not singing. You'll need someone else for that." As if on cue, the tavern door creaked open again. A young dwarven woman entered, her braids gleaming like strands of copper. The dwarves sat up straighter. One whispered reverently, "It's the coal miner's daughter." With some gentle coaxing and a free meat pie from Kutath, Heinrich persuaded her to take the stage. Tumbles plucked a gentle, lilting tune. The dwarves leaned forward, their soot-stained faces softening as the coal miner's daughter began to sing. Her voice was pure and strong, rising above the clatter of mugs and crackle of fire. The lyrics told of hard days in the mines, the promise of dawn, and the comfort of laughter and home. The dwarf's eyes grew misty. One blew his nose loudly into his beard. Another sniffled into his tankard. Then, because this was Heinrich's tavern, the stew pot burped, sending up a puff of steam that shaped itself into dancing dwarves with glowing coal eyes. The dwarves in the room gasped, then cheered, believing it to be a perfectly timed magical stage effect. Kutath muttered, "That's not illusion. Pot just acting strange again." But it didn't matter. The music swelled, the singing soared, and soon the whole tavern was clapping and stomping along. By the end of the night, the dwarves were grinning ear to ear, mugs raised high. The coal miner's daughter took a bow, Tumbles strummed a final chord, and Heinrich basked in the applause. "See, Kutath," Heinrich said proudly, "food may fill the belly, but music fills the heart." Kutath shrugged. Soup could do both. Just then, the stew pot burped again, this time forming a smoky mustache over Heinrich's face. The dwarves roared with laughter, chanting, "Encore! Encore!"